have to hear. Drink a good deal of it, make a good meal of it, stick to your old-fashioned beer. Now don't be afraid of it, drink till you're made of it. Now all together a cheer.
Hello again, folks. It's Mark McDermott, your one-take beer reviewer and Chicago craft beer blogger, and I say that part for emphasis because we're going to have a look at what's supposed to be a Chicago institution. The Frank Thomas Big Hurt beer. It's made by some entity called Big Hurt Brewing, but brewed at Minhas Craft Beer in Monroe, Wisconsin. That is the former Huber Brewing Company. And it is, well, what can we say? It's a celebrity beer, and I know what we're thinking: Billy Beer, Landshark Lager, etc., etc. But, well, Frank Thomas has been one of my idols since my time in Chicago, and there's a chance I'll be invited to a meet and greet with the Big Hurt sometime next week, where I'll be asking him to autograph a can of this, or the same baseball on which I've got Ozzie Guillen's signature, so who knows? I'm going to just give it a try. What it says on the label is alcohol 7% by volume, and it is supposedly crisp, full-flavored lager. Well, at 7%, I think we're all just thinking malt liquor, but I think we're getting into that kind of a category now because we've just heard about Bud Light Premium, the flavor of Bud Light, and 6% alcohol, and I've also had something called Natty Daddy, which is Natural Light's grain bill recipe, but brewed to malt liquor strength. So we are going to just give this a shot. We'll use the Sam Adams lager glass, one of the best friends a light beer can have. Pop her open here. And we'll look at the pour. And I have done reviews of beers like the Walgreens 1901 beer that look just as pale as this, and this is just as pale as that. It's very light. We'll admit that there's some suitable beer yellow to it. It does kick off a nice big head. And it has a very, very corny smell right under the head here, under this nice bit of foam with all the bubbles streaming up. Just a touch solventy, which is what we will expect from a malt liquor. We'll let it top off, do a nice TV beer pour there. And I can see on the camera as I stare at the TV that it looks a little more golden than it does as I look at it here. There's a little bit of particle floating around here, which you don't normally see. So it might have been actually filtered, or it might just be the dust in my glass. But sometimes that just means it's not pasteurized. But I'm guessing it was pasteurized. Let's just take a sip. Well, I wish I wouldn't be disappointed in a beer with someone I like's name on it, but, well, here it is. A lot of corn adjunct flavor to it, solventy with alcohol to it. I am supposing there are hops because it's not overly sugarly sweet, but it is very sugary nonetheless. It's, what can I say, it's a convenience store malt liquor. I'm sorry to have to say that, but it's just not going to float anyone's boat. Better to just get the can as a souvenir and see if it can be autographed, although they should have put some more lighter area for someone who's going to be signing something with a Sharpie. But that is the Frank Thomas Big Hurt beer. It is, well, made more for showing the can off than drinking, I'm afraid. But, well, what can we say? It's one of my idols in Chicago sports, but I think we know that we don't want to make sports figures our idols. At least we know that the Big Hurt is going into the Hall of Fame on his very first year of eligibility, even if this isn't.
Now don't be afraid of it. Drink till you're made of it. Now all together a cheer. Up with the sail of it, down with a glorious beer.